Sure.
Yes.
Hello, girls. Nice to see you. Hello, Naya.
Yes. Hello, Letty. Hello, Anna. Nice to meet you again.
And hello, Annie.
Hello.
Today, we're going to try and talk about these 3 questions that I have on the screen. So, Annie, would you like to go first? I'm going to read the first one.
Okay.
How often do you see your long-distance friends? Well, the first question should be, have you got any long-distance friends?
Yeah. Should I go first to answer this question?
Please. Yes,
okay.
Please.
So the question was changed, right? So
no, because I asked the first one, but I need to ask you, have you got any? Because if you have got no long distance friends, you can't answer that question. So this is why I said both.
Yeah. This question means that about online friend.
Well, it can be, or it can be people that live far away from you and not in your real life.
Yes, I got long distance friends. And where are they? Where are they? They are anywhere, splendid anywhere. And why? What does why mean?
It means, why are they so far away from you?
Because I met them on social media through learning English environment. So that's why they're away from me. So we just make friends through internet.
Right, so these friends who are long distance, you've met them online and they're to improve your English.
Exactly.
All right, but for example, how far away is your family?
My family, my extended family, do you mean?
Yeah.
About 2 hours away by plane.
Right, so that could be long distance as well. Right?
Yeah.
So you could have family who are long distance because they're 2 hours away by plane. And the reason is that you moved, I suppose. This is why of the distance. And then you have your other friends who are long distance because you have friends all over the world to practice your English.
Right.
Right. And Nghia, what about you?
Yes. I have a lot. My friends who live far away from my home. Around 8 years ago, I worked in a big city in Ho Chi Minh City, and now I quit my job in the city, and I come back to my country. So quite a long time, I didn't visit them.
Right.
My college.
So you met these people when you were working away from home.
Yes.
And now you have finished that job and you come back home, and so now you don't see them. So this is why they're your long distance friends.
Yes. Yes, that's right.
And how often do you speak to them?
Sometimes about once a month, I speak to them via Facebook. Yes.
Right, so social media, you use social media to speak to them about once a month.
Yes.
Right. Annie, the next question. Do you think it's a good idea to borrow money from a friend?
Yes.
Or lend money to a friend? Do you understand the difference between borrow and lend?
Yes, I get it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. for my own personal opinion, this is really personal. I think when we build a friendship with someone, I avoid to deal with kind of money, so to borrow money from friends is going to be risky for me about the friendship. But when we try to lend money for someone, it could be. So that's mean when we try to help others, it's a good thing to do, but not to borrow, because when we lend amount of money, some amount of money, and we have to aware with the risk consequences. Maybe they cannot take the money back. So we have to understand and realize that we don't have to take it for granted. Maybe that person gonna be take it back to me. But to borrow money is not a good idea for me when we build a relationship or friendship with someone. Yeah, that's it.
So you don't like the idea of borrowing money from people, asking people to lend you the money. You don't like that.
As much as I can, yes. I
So
avoid.
unless it was really, really necessary, you would try not to do it.
Yes.
But if they ask to lend money from you, you
It's
wouldn't
okay,
mind.
fine. If I can afford, yeah.
But for example, do you expect them to give you the money back, or you're just giving them the money?
For example, this is just an example, the amount of money. If someone borrow money from me about maybe $100, so I would rather to give them about maybe a half, only $50, but not in intention to expect them to take it back for me. So we just, I'm just ready for the bad risk.
So you realize that if you lend someone some money, you run the risk of losing that money. You run the risk.
Yes.
Because when people have asked me for money, and they use the word lend, right? So if they use this word lend, for me, it has a meaning. It means that you will give it back.
Giving, yeah.
But they don't. So
yeah,
they
but sometimes
use the word incorrectly. They should, can you give me $100?
Yeah.
I need it. They should use the right word.
Yes. Then
So
when someone
spoil a friendship. You have to be careful. It can be spoil a friendship.
Yes,
so for
of
me,
course.
it's not the value of the money. For me, if you ask to lend, it's to lend. And you ask to give, it's to give. So you must speak correctly, no?
Misunderstanding about the lend words. Lend, they should take it back to the person, when lend something. All right. So
and also sometimes I think people ask too easily.
Yes, that's true.
This is my personal idea. Right, Ania, what do you think about this? About borrowing and lending money?
Yes, I think, in my opinion, I think it depends on especially the situation. If necessary, we can borrow money from a friend, but remember we should remember give them back.
So if they ask to borrow, it's to give it back, and they should remember. For example, yes. I would find it very hard to ask for it back, even though I think about it. So we have to be careful. We can lose friends through this situation, I think. And I think it should be understood clearly what's involved. So money and friends, for me, doesn't mix when possible. Right then, are we ready? Describe one of your closest friends. So just I want you to practice describing somebody physically and their characteristics. It can be true or it can be false. I don't mind. It's just to practice adjectives in the correct way. But if you use an adjective, for example, honest, I would like you to give me an example of why you think your best friend or your closest friend is this way. So Annie, you're going to describe a friend. It can be a real one or an imaginary one.
Yes, all right. Friends, for my opinion, is friends is always understand what your situation is. Friend is not be there when you happy, when you have something, when you have money. A friend is when no matter what, they still there support you even when you down. Uh, the close friend also correcting me when I made mistake. But not in public. But not in public. In public, they just give me like compliment. Oh, you're doing great, blah blah blah. But in private messages maybe, and they can correct me when you going crazy, you were silly, and they can correct me whenever I making mistake or doing something crazy. That's close friend for me.
Correct you in a positive way.
In a positive way, sure. Constructive,
in a constructive way. Okay. So describe a friend to me. She's tall, she's short, she's
physically. When making a friend, actually I don't really care about the appearance. The thing that their mindset and also having similarity with me, and also support me, and makes me become a better person.
Right.
Yeah. So mentally, psychologically, yeah, that's it. I don't mind about the appearance.
So they have to be on the same page as you and be positive and understanding. So have you got a friend? I just want to know, is she taller than you or shorter than you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, maybe taller, I guess taller than me, but also not that taller, maybe the same like me as well. Especially a woman, when women the same like me in real life, in real life. But for men, mostly they taller than me, men, mostly. Because by appearance, when they look good, it gets me, kind of mix something like icing the cake. When this make something better, when something look good, right? I know. I know. I think you know what I mean.
Right. So if your friend looks handsome or pretty, they compliment you, I suppose. Right. And Nghia.
Yes. And yeah. I would describe my teacher. My teacher also my closest friends. He is dedicated teacher. When he helps me a lot in my studying. When I didn't understand something, I asked him for help. He explained to me carefully until I got it clearly. And beside of that, he also a generous person. He always save money to help the poor people, especially the poor students or disabled people. And I appreciated his work. He is my model, and I imitate his character. I wish I will become a good teacher like him.
Right. So the person who is a close friend, by chance, he is your teacher. and he
Yes.
has a lot of good qualities that you like. And
Yes.
because of this, you like him and you respect him and you would like to be like him if it was
Yes.
possible. So you
Yes.
use him as a role model.
Yes.
Right,
Yes.
fantastic. Thank you, girls, for answering these questions.